Good morning, Internet. This is the Old Fat Dad, and welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today we're going to look at a new budget red dot, the Cyelee Wolf2. But before we start our review, let's talk about wants and needs. As a recreational shooter, I really want the best equipment, red dots, everything. I would love to shoot aim points, EOTechs, Trijicons all day long. Fortunately, I live in a world where budget matters. Got a family, got kids to support, can't go around spending that top dollar on things that I don't really need. What I need, though, is equipment that has tons of awesome features, is reliable, and comes at a good price. And that's what Cyelee promises to deliver with their new red dot. And today we're going to test it out and see if they can deliver on those promises. First up, let's check out what the Wolf2 actually is. So here it is on its Picatinny mount, which comes in the package. And it is an RMR style mounting micro red dot. And it comes with a neat little battery tray up top. It has shake awake features. You can see the adjustments there for windage and elevation. It's got nice big buttons on the side to turn the illumination up or down. And it comes in this lovely little box. Cyelee sent 2 of these to me free of charge for me to offer my objective review. And that's what we're going to do today. Let's take a look at what's in this box right here. Bam! There we go. The contents of the box. Obviously, you've got your red dot. You've got a really nice little cover to put on top of that red dot, keep it protected. You've got the Picatinny adapter mount, very nice to have. Got a ton of instructions, and a lot of them focus on how to zero the red dot, including troubleshooting, where to actually zero it to as far as range. Interesting to me because it sounds like they've had a lot of trouble at this company with people not being able to figure out how to zero a red dot. Any kind of optic, really. It is a little tricky to do, and if it's your first red dot, I can see why that would be important. So kudos to them. The instructions are well written, and I appreciate that. Sometimes you get a lot of mistranslated nonsense, but it looks like they put the time in to give you a halfway decent set of instructions there. And then you got a couple little useless things, in my mind at least, a sticker, a microfiber wipe down pad. Not so useless is a ton of screws here for different kinds of mounting options. And then they give you all the tools you could need to mount it, including there's a little screwdriver in there as well that I seem to have misplaced. I think it rolled off the table, but it's just a flathead, which is kind of redundant because there is a flathead on this little Allen as well. So that's what's inside the box. What about the features of this optic? Cyelee sent me a green and a red version of this particular dot here, and if we can get this to focus, you'll see that this is not actually a dot. It's got the old crosshairs on there instead of just a single dot. I actually prefer this style a little bit more than a pure red dot because it's a little bit bigger, a little easier to find when you're bringing that pistol up to shoot. There are a couple things that Cyelee really wanted to promote with this red dot. First thing is that right on the front of the package it says they're fully submersible, rainproof, and giant blue watery looking writing. I think we should test that out. Let's cut to a clip of that right here. All right, there's the green dot. She's fully functional. Let's start our test. Okay, let's see if she's still working after 2 minutes in the drink. Oh, come on, friend. I think I see a green light. Here we go. Moment of truth. There it is. Still working. And as you saw, 2 minutes in the drink did not seem to affect the red dot. Passed with flying colors, so good job on that one. The next one, they don't advertise so much, but they did send me an email asking me to specifically look at this, and I don't know if they watch my videos and know that I have pretty bad eyes, but the secret feature here, I guess you'd call it, is that they supposedly have designed this with a laser that makes it better for people with astigmatism. It's really hard for me to convey to you, because you can't see through my eyes, whether they've succeeded or not. So you're just going to have to trust me on this. But I will say that I think they have almost got there. How does the Wolf 2 look through my eyes? So left eye, very clear. It looks like the same picture that you see if you take a picture of this through a camera, which is good. If you use your camera lens to look at the red dot, you shouldn't see any kind of starburst, even if you have astigmatism. And through my left eye, I don't pick up any kind of blurring through this dot here. Now through my right eye, no, it's not quite there. It is not terrible. I can use the sight through my right eye, but it still has that blurriness to it, so it's not sharp. So the good news is that most of the time with both eyes open, which is the way you should be using red dots, it seems like my left eye takes over for the most part, and I get a pretty darn clear picture of this sight. Since the Cyelee Wolf 2 is a budget red dot option, I figure we should try it out on some budget firearms. So right here in front of me, I've got the finest single shot semi-auto on the market, the High Point Yeet Cannon. And over here, I've got a beautiful Turkish shotgun, of course, semi-automatic as well. We're gonna throw the Picatinny rail on our Wolf 2, toss it on these two guys, make sure we got a good zero, and see if it holds that zero or if it starts to do some weird stuff under recoil. Using our handy dandy sighting tool thingy that was provided, I have made some adjustments. Let's see if we're on now. Big plate, here we go, right in the middle. I mean, it's not terrible. Oh, and of course our High Point lives up to its reputation here. And this is why I like to call my High Point the finest single shot semi-auto on the market. Always guaranteed to get one shot off, probably. Okay, a little low still, but not too bad. And another jam, of course. Well, let's do a third shot just to see where it lands us here. All right. Issues aside, I think that looks like a pretty good group. Still just a smidge low, but they're all right in the same kind of area there. Got the old High Point clear, and we're ready to see how we do on this thing. And up! Dang it. Seem to have dropped the dang thing right on the optic. Gosh darn it. I hate it when that happens. That's awful. Ah! Again? Man. Well, I took it to the table and tried to clean it off a little bit, but you know what? The darn thing slipped out of my hands again. Now I think I've got the butter wiped off my hands and my grip is back to normal. So far, seeing a little bit of damage on the shroud there. It's a little bit banged up and beat up, but the sight is still working. Oh boy, there it is. Is it still zeroed though? Or do we knock it totally out of spec? Let's take a couple more shots, find out. Now let's see if we are in the same spot. Here we go. Hey, I got 2 shots off before it jammed on me. It looks like it's on. It might have gotten a little bit better, actually. Well, I can tell you one thing. The Wolf is doing a lot better than the High Point as far as performance today. You know what, though? I don't think 9mm is enough, though. Let's go ahead and swap our Picatinny mounted red dot, and I've been saying red dot the whole time, but this particular one is a green dot. Let's swap her over and put it on the 12 gauge shotgun and see if we run some more tests and it can keep on performing as well as it did on the good old high point. Now we've got the Wolf2 set up on the cheap Turkish semi-auto shotgun. Got our targets at 7 to 10 yards down there. Not sure how the pistol 0 is going to translate to our shotgun 0, but with a spicy load of birdshot, I think we've got loaded up here. I think we're just gonna probably gonna hit the targets either way, and hopefully we can see again if we get a big shift in the red dot 0 after firing, and maybe after a couple more accidental drops. Let's do our initial test though. Here we are, about 7 yards away. Let's see what happens. Boy, this thing is so lightweight, it kicks like a mule. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, little high. Yep, we're sitting on the upper half of these targets here. You know what, I think I'm gonna leave it there because that will give us a good idea if we get any kind of shift lower. I think that actually works out real well for our purposes. And the Gerson is now completely empty. That's up. Well, darn it. Just having a hard time holding on to this. Oh, dear, oh me. Let's see if I can take this thing back to the table and clean the dirt off of it. Well, after another trip to the table that resulted with the Optic catching the full force of a shotgun landing on top of it, let's see if it still works. Can we get it to show up? Whoa, a lot harder with a shotgun than a pistol. Here, let's see, maybe if we go this way. And there she is. Still shining bright, but still zeroed. Only time will tell. Now, it bears mentioning that we are looking for this to be shooting a good bit high again for it to match the 0 we had before, because this is the pistol 0 that I have on here. I did not change it yet. So our next 3 shots should be on the upper half of the targets. Let's find out if that actually works out. Okay, here we go. All right, not too bad. Just about right. Yeah, I'd say that is almost exactly what we had before. So, the Cyelee has survived and, dare I might say, even thrived. Let's take a look at the old Wolf2 after all the abuse. Here's some close-ups. Most of that damage is here on the shroud, but the glass is still clear, undamaged. Everything looks straight and in square, and we're still transmitting on our Optic. I wonder if that'll ever come in focus again. I was so impressed the last time, but no, it doesn't look like it wants to. You'll have to trust me. It's still looking clear and in focus. The adjustments seem to work just fine. It held at 0 despite all the abuse. So, you know what? I gotta say, passed with flying colors. Good job, Cyelee. We tried the Wolf2 on our high point and our good old Turkish shotgun. Both of those have Picatinny rails on there, but the Wolf does have a RMR mount, and surprisingly I found out that I don't have any kind of pistols with a RMR mount. All my pistols have the C mount, the smaller mount, except for this guy right here, which is an airsoft gun. Despite that, hopefully it gives you an idea of what it looks like with the sight mounted to an actual pistol mount there. Sits very nicely. And this is the red one. I haven't showed you this one yet, but this has the red circle dot on it, which can't really say I found any differences between the green and the red besides the color. To my eyes, doesn't make a huge difference. I think it's just a personal preference thing. Would you rather have a green or a red dot? Let's go back to that wants versus needs thing again one more time. again, you know, I'd be lying to you if I said that I do not crave, I do not covet those fancy, super expensive red dots and sights. I mean, again, an aim point, an EOTech, those would be pretty awesome to have. But again, it's not in my budget, and this one definitely is. Price right now is a little over $100. I think you'll have to check that out. I also should have a discount code. Maybe I'll put it up here or down below for you guys if you want to pick one of these optics up for yourself. As far as my testing goes today, it held up to a lot of abuse. All of its features it delivered on, with the exception that I can't really test this shake awake. It is either really sensitive or it's on all the time, but it hasn't burned through a set of batteries yet. I've had this for quite a while, and I have it on a bright setting, so as far as I can tell, it's doing what it's supposed to do, but maybe I'll do a follow-up with that. Everything else, though, it's waterproof, submersible, it is shock-proof, it's staying on target. It has a ton of stuff that comes with it. The Picatinny mount makes it a very versatile optic. All the little doodads, gadgets, and things you get in the box are also a nice touch. And like I said before, in that $100 range, it's delivering as far as I can tell. It's not tested in the war, but fingers crossed, hopefully I'll never be in that situation. I'll just be recreationally shooting and enjoying my $100 optic and spending all that extra money on either my family and kids, or, you know, maybe just getting extra ammo and maybe trying to find a high point that actually cycles more than one round at a time. And that's about all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.